Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, we have another episode to talk about. We're getting down to the end very quickly. First, we have one groom that is dumped over the dinner table, another groom that is not going down the path to love, and then the honesty box stirs drama for the last time as we are at the final dinner party. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia Season 10, Episode 32. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this dinner party. So we are coming off the back of the Homestay week and we're just steps away from the Final Vows, and there are some heavy issues weighing on a lot of our couples' minds. At the beginning of this episode for Evelyn, it's the fact that Rupert has decided to dress up as Dr. Evil for the final dinner party. As for Bronte and Harrison, the issues at hand are a little bit more pressing, especially following a disastrous Homestay visit where Bronte's sister Kira essentially tore Harrison to shreds, and the couple are living apart and will be entering the dinner party separately. Bronte even said, I actually feel that the most confident I've felt in a long entire time. And it's funny what a little bit of home can do for one's self-esteem and one's clarity. They're not the only couple that had a tumultuous Homestay week. Over at the cocktail hour, things got a little bit frosty between Alyssa and Duncan. And of course, you know Evelyn can sniff that out a mile away. I mean, she tells the camera, what the hell, it feels like someone died in this room. It feels like we walked into a funeral. Now, blissfully unaware that there's any tension between them, Rupert asked the two of them how Duncan's big romantic boat date went. Yikes. Yeah, Rupert, you got to read the room. And she gives a recount of how the events went, how she was ready to tell him, how she's falling for him, and how she can't wait to see how things go. Now, she claims that he pretty much ripped their entire relationship apart. But, I mean, Alyssa, you said you wanted a part-time relationship, and even though he said that he would work with you with your child, you still had issues with that. So what do you expect him to do? As we're still at the cocktail hour, the door opens and Harrison walks in by himself again. Of course, by this point, it's no surprise. However, Harrison is quick to get his story out and tells the group that he was viciously attacked by Bronte and Kira like it had unleashed two pit bulls. Evelyn and the girls lose interest in Harrison's sob story pretty quickly, is what we saw. Now, Bronte made her own solo entrance and is adamant that she doesn't have the time of day for Harrison. He catches her off guard with an unexpected olive branch, but is knocked back in a second. Dinner is served, and Ollie wants to kick things off by hearing all about Bronte and Harrison's delightful homestay. But before they can get into the nitty-gritty, the experts crash the dinner party. And no, they're not here for a bite to eat. They're here to deliver another honesty box. Alessandra addresses the group saying that this exercise is not for the faint of heart. It's going to be tough and it will be very confronting. And with that not so pleasant disclaimer out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this dinner party. First up is Tahnee and Ollie, and of course our two little lovebirds have been in their love bubble. They breezed through the relationship test, and I mean Ollie is beaming.
I just find it crazy that we've been on this thing for so long and we can't get enough of each other in a way that it's like we just want to be around each other all the time. Like, if you're getting a bubble tea, I'm coming with you, sort of thing.
Tahnee and Ollie, I think they are genuinely each other's biggest supporter and best friend. They seem really happy and they deserve that.
Yeah, I just can't get enough of you.
Do you think I'm going to be enough for you long term?
Yeah, like 1000% you're enough. I resent the question.
Are you falling in love with me?
That's an easy one. Am I falling in love with you? Yes.
So yes, this is no surprise with these two, and we even heard Tahnee tell the cameras that a lot of the questions me and Ollie have kind of already discussed with each other. So it was kind of nice to share it with the group, and their answers are so heartwarming. They even managed to squeeze an awe out of Harrison. So let's talk about Alyssa and Duncan. Now these two are already on thin ice, and there's nothing like airing out your relationship issues in front of the group to make things better. Now, Alyssa reveals that she feels like she's never going to be good enough for Duncan's high expectations and how she has a lot of doubts following their final date. Now, despite Alyssa's answers being all doom and gloom, when he's asked how he feels about her, he says he feels warm, he feels close, and he loves how she makes him feel when it's good. And while you think that would be the best answer he could give, yeah, we couldn't be so wrong. And Alyssa snapped, saying when it's good, which is what, 56% of the time? Yeah, she clearly didn't listen to Duncan's sentence in the first part of it. Anyway, Duncan doesn't understand how even when he's trying to say something nice, Alyssa just cuts him down. Even still, Duncan continued to praise his wife, saying that she has amazing traits. He adds that he has some concerns about their different ideas of what a healthy relationship look like. Alyssa pushes Duncan to be specific, and when he is, she doesn't like the answer she got. And in a nutshell, he hopes the challenges that they've had in their relationship are only due to the pressure of the experiment. Otherwise, it's not a healthy relationship. Having looked at that as a bit of criticism, Alyssa wants to end Duncan's question time and say, can we move on to the next box, please? Girl, bye. Moving on, let's go over to Evelyn and Rupert. Now, things get off to a good start for these two when Evelyn reports her feelings have grown for Rupert. She says that she feels vulnerability between the two of them, and there's obviously an undeniable respect and care. Now, things take a turn when Rupert asks Evelyn what her least favorite thing about him is. Evelyn gently tells Rupert that he sometimes say the wrong things, but Rupert insists that he's always just talking smack. Now, Rupert, you just can't be talking smack when you meet my mom, according to what Evelyn says. Now, Rupert says Evelyn should trust him to say the right thing despite his recurring foot-in-the-mouth disease. Now, Evelyn also thinks that Rupert could put more effort into the relationship. And she says that it's taken 7 weeks for you to take me on a date, and I don't think that effort is enough. Now, Rupert says his lack of effort is because Evelyn hasn't shown any interest in him. Now, Evelyn says that's nonsense because they've been intimate. Now, Rupert thinks that he's still entitled to his opinion because being intimate isn't as obvious sign that she likes him. Okay, Rupert, we love your ambition, but that's not probably the case when he tells the camera, I could just be a piece of meat to her. They could figure this out. I'm wondering if they just hyping this up for drama, but I guess we'll have to see with these two on the Final Vows. So now with the final 3 couples, things get a little dicey. And this one first is Lindo and Cameron. And it shocks none of us that Cameron reveals that he's unsure if Lindo will fit into his life in the Northern Territory. As for Lindo heading into this dinner party, yeah, she is concerned about what happened at Homestays and the kiss that she did not receive.
I feel, I guess, like worried about where our relationship's going.
You like Linda?
Yeah. I think maybe where I'm at is kind of like we were in his world and he was in his element. And I still didn't feel like he really stepped up and wanted me to be part of that. We're going to our last dinner party. But I don't really, I'm not filled with confidence that our relationship's gonna withstand whatever's coming next.
Who goes there?
Conor McGregor.
Wow.
I didn't see them walking in. I don't know that they walked in together as a couple.
I want to hear all about Darwin. Yes, I want to hear about it.
Oh.
Sitting over here.
Yeah, walking into the cocktail party, I feel a bit weird, I feel disconnected from Cam. I didn't get any kisses or affection at all the whole time we were there.
What?
Not even in the morning. What about in the morning, a hug?
I got one on my forehead
Oh,
before he left to go goose
so
shooting.
sexy. Nothing like a kiss on the forehead before goose shooting.
Oh, no, that just doesn't cut it. I'm sorry, but no.
Remember, we do these homestays so they get a glimpse into the real life of this person. What Cam's saying is affection is not a part
It's not
of
a
it.
part of it.
So now at the dinner party, after all of the times Lyndall has defended Bronte, Bronte finally jumps in and returns the favor, telling Cameron he'd be crazy to let Lyndall go. But it doesn't quite register for Cam, who doubles down on his stance that he doesn't feel like he's the right person for Lyndall. And he says you need someone who can show you all this affection and give you reassurance. Lyndall pipes up saying that she didn't even get a kiss the entire time that they were on homestays. But Cam is quick to shut her down, saying that is BS. And of course, feeling defeated in this whole encounter, Lyndall has nothing else to say.
You want me to be this all affectionate and... I just don't feel like I'm the right person.
It doesn't. Lyndall's asking for a lot of affection. It sounds like she's just asking for affectionate full stop.
Because I didn't get a kiss the entire time we were on Homestay.
That's
It's
bullshit,
like
because I went to lean in for a kiss and you pulled your head away after we had that argument.
Days on end without kissing your partner? Are you kidding me?
I want to see what happens when we get on the outside.
What's going to happen is you're going to go back to remote work and we're not going to see each other and things don't start growing when you're that far
I
apart.
can't give you exact dates when I go back out.
I'm not asking you to give me exact dates. I'm asking you to tell me that you are willing to try.
I said
and you've
I
just
said-
never done
said
that.
I am willing to try. I'm willing to compromise my work and travel to Perth, or you come to Darwin.
You're not prepared to make sacrifices.
He hasn't made a single sacrifice, not even something.
It's just a whole lot of words.
It's words. He doesn't mean it.
Are you just not ready for a relationship?
I wouldn't say I'm not ready for a relationship. I just think... I love Lyndall as a person, but I'm just not going down that path of falling in love.
Wow.
That's where I'm at.
The thought of losing him has always been upsetting, but like in that moment I was just like... It was like ending in front of everybody. I hadn't heard that he wasn't gonna... Didn't see himself falling for me before. You're gonna have to excuse me for a second.
Lyndall.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just need a minute.
It's okay.
I am who I am at this time. I'm not going down that path of falling in love, but I haven't shut the gates.
But like you guys saw that, right? It was like he basically said it'll never work and then said, but maybe it can. And it's just like, you told me.
No one's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I will say this, I feel like there's a confusion in, feels like you're speaking in quite absolutes and finalities, but then it also feels like you're leaving that door open a little bit for the chance. Can we just say it as it is? Is this the girl for you? Like, speak candidly, honestly.
After the homestays, no.
I'm sorry. This is not okay. Murder. Cam, you are such an asshole.
Really?
You are such an asshole. You've strung her along this whole entire time. And for her to hear this in front of everyone, is a low blow.
Is it? That's no good.
Yeah, it is a low blow. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Don't trip on your way out.
And after all of that dramatics, Cameron doesn't seem to be too bothered. He shrugs his shoulders, saying that's no good. Lyndall sums up everyone's feelings when she returned to the group, saying what a bloody mess that was. Next up is Melinda and Layton, our two CEOs. Now, this up and down couple has seemed to have been on a serious high. Melinda was gushing, saying how he ticked all of her boxes like no guy has ever done before. And when Layton asked Melinda if she's falling in love with him, this is what she had to say.
Are you falling in love with me?
Already there.
Aw. Yeah, but it's like, if you can't speak to someone, are you really?
I knew you were going to do this.
Far out.
Is that not a relevant question?
I do love Layton. But I guess because I have things that aren't 100%, it's just not good enough for Layton. It doesn't add up.
How are you falling in love with me if we can't communicate? Mel basically said that we can't communicate, we can't talk. So to hear all these things, then on the other hand, to hear that this person's in love with you, I think you have to question that. Because you want to make sure that if someone's saying something like that, they really mean it.
We've seen this style from Layton right the way through, haven't we? He's essentially saying, I'm right, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's black, it's white. It's very hard to get any sort of understanding. And these guys are almost constantly gridlocked whenever we see them.
This is a robot sitting next to me, guys. I'm not asking him anything.
No, it's not. Come on.
It's very clear that I care a lot more about Layton than he does me. And in all aspects of our relationship, what I think or feel towards Layton is like leaps and bounds above what is being reciprocated. Are you falling in love with me?
I'm not there yet.
However, after all of that, it's not all bad news from Layton. He admits that he often thinks that he can see himself falling in love with Melinda. It's just a matter of their unresolved issues that are preventing them from moving forward. But Melinda doesn't know if there will be any moving forward after tonight. And she said that she actually feels like tonight is an end game for the two of them. I gotta say, if you don't have communication, how could you fall in love with somebody? I can totally understand that. And then if you say that, it's a serious thing, so you have to mean it. And also too, the other part of that is, can you do that in 8 weeks amongst this experiment? I mean, it has happened on the US side, but I think it's because it's differently invested and these people are legally married here. But is that something that you can do? Some people can fall in love at first sight, I guess. But it's just interesting to see that I honestly, with these two, I think they can work it out. Just figure out how to communicate better. And he's on his way. He's just not there right now. And with the last couple, Bronte and Harrison, let's just get this over with. He complained about Kira attacking him. Bronte's turn to answer questions. She revealed that even when the couple was in a good place, she didn't believe Harrison had good intentions. I don't believe you were genuine. Honestly, I've never met anything or anybody like you. Harrison thanked her, but quickly she means that it's the worst possible. And, pretty much they're done. You're done. I'm not going to even waste my energy on this whole situation because they kept the drama going for the ratings for this entire season. Production ate it up, and they definitely used this as an option. My thing is, good riddance, move on with both of your lives, and don't take this on the outside and make it turn ugly, because both of you guys' lives are now in the media. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. Do you think that Layton and Melinda can figure this out? I'm happy for Tahnee and Ollie. As for Lyndall and Cameron, good riddance, move on. He saved you some time, Lyndall. And Duncan and Alyssa, Duncan, your DMs are going to be full. Don't worry about that at all. So I hope you enjoyed this update and recap. Stay tuned for other updates and recaps on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.